The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purpose, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. I'd like to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. That belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, teaching his truth in its entirety. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy. I just wanted to do a lesson in regards to everything that's going on right now. Shalom, shalom, this world. We're living in some beautiful times. For those who have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, who have spiritual eyes and ears to see and hear. You know, got wars and rumors of wars and all kinds of things happening. You know, it's a beautiful time that we're living in. And I had got a screenshot from something that one of the elders had posted. It says, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. That's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful quote because, you know, I know when I came I woke up and came into this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the water y'all about Shimmy, I was shy for that. You know, I didn't really see too much prophecy happen, you know, and then, you know, everybody knows by now I was with a wicked camp one by the end. I was shy, so like, you know, I wasn't watching because, you know, I wasn't being fed, you know, correct doctrine. But, you know, at one point where nothing really, you know, it was always things happening, you know, behind closed doors, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, it was always things happening, but, you know, not like right now, you know, you got a volcano erupted over there in Indonesia. You know, just came off the weekend from those set up George Soros protests, you know, and also everybody know that, you know, things are really heating up between Iran and Israel. You know, the scripture says the least of the flock shall draw them out. Also, Brother Ramya posted a video on his social media of a Jake, you know what I'm saying? He had a video. He posted deployment dinner, and the Jake had like some real nice servings of meals, you know, fatting them up for the slaughter. Because, you know, we almost out of this thing, you know. And although, you know, we got the wars, we got the rumors of wars going on, you know, we know that, you know, we almost up out of here. The scripture says that our salvation draw nearer than we believe, roughly paraphrasing. You know, but we know that before this thing go nuclear, you know, that MOT to the B is going to be made mandatory. But, hey, you know, scripture says that our salvation draw nearer than we believe. So we know we at the end of this thing, you know. So that means we closer than we think we are. Who knows? You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, he's speeding up time right now. I saw over the weekend they had a study that showed that even kids are saying that it's like the days are going by so fast. You know. Also, Russia launched a missile and drone attack on the one and only Ukraine, killing 15 and injuring 131. And they say that's one of the worst drone attacks that Putin, Russia did this year. So, you know, the water y'all about Shem Yahweh Shai for the times that we're living in. All right. I'm going to grab a precept. This is the book of Matthew chapter 25. Salakia. Matthew chapter 24 and starting at verse 6. And, you know, this has been coming out a whole lot more lately. The book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Earthquakes going crazy too. All these are the beginning of sorrows. The scripture says that these things, when we see these things starting to come to pass, this is just the beginning of sorrows. Wars and rumors of wars. You can't turn on the TV without seeing it. You can't go on social media without seeing it. But you know what? I've been talking to a lot of brothers lately, and they all been saying the same thing these last few days. None of their family members have said anything about, everything that's going on right now. They think about the playoffs, what the Cowboys first schedule of this season gonna look like. Pure madness. But the scripture says that these are the beginning of sorrows, and we know that Jacob's trouble is gonna come soon, knocking at the door. The water Yahweh Shem Yahushua for this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The next precept I want to grab is coming from the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, starting at verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near. It hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wantonness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So all you plantation Christianity, idiots, thinking that they waiting on Jesus to come back because everything's gonna be good. Hey man, it gets greater later, but right now it's not those times, man. We are coming into some serious time. Even for the men of the Lord, the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, those that come back to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk. The times we going through, Lord willing, we a part of that hopeful elect. We're a part of the hopefully. We're a part of that elect number. That's why we put on as the hopeful elect. No, it ain't gonna be no cakewalk. Jacob's trouble is going to find everybody. It's going to find us as well. However, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua for giving us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We heard the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hey, man, we woke up to these prophecies, man, and we turned our feet to the testimony. So, we thanking Yahweh Shem Yahushua for giving us the eyes to see and ears to hear, ahead of time. Because the time is coming where, people gonna wish they had this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Especially when Yahweh Shem Yahushua, take this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding off the face of the earth. Hey man, it's gonna be a delight to be talking to somebody who know about this. Because if you ain't got this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you through. You out of there. So we thanking Yahweh Shem Yahushua for the times we living in and for this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, next precept I want to grab. Let's grab the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 2. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. The times we coming into that's quickly approaching, all hell is about to break loose. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is finna get busy all throughout the four corners of the earth. And while all that's going on, the true believers of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, ones who have come back to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and who truly trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, although all hell is gonna be breaking loose, all kinds of things are gonna be happening. We still gonna be, praying to our power. We still gonna be begging for his mercy. Gonna be begging that Yahweh Shem Yahushua remember mercy in those days. That's just how real it's about to get. Not saying that it's not real right now. But hey man, we talking about the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. This ain't no small thing that's about to take place here on the planet Earth. Not saying that nothing is happening right now, because this thing's happening all throughout the four corners of the earth. The things that we can see, the things that we won't be able, we don't know that's going on. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is about to turn the heat up. All right, getting back to the book of Zephaniah, still in chapter 1. I'm going to jump down to verse 16, and it reads, the day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Gonna be out here with no hedge of protection, with no guidance, because y'all didn't come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai when you had an opportunity to, talking to Yasharallah. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai finna leave you out here stuck. You trusting in Babylon the Great. You trusting in Esau, Edom. Now you gonna have to suffer with him. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai finna have y'all out here blind. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number that make it out of here. That receive that hedge of protection. And escape the destruction that's coming to this place. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai finna really sock it to you Eves, man. To my all the women of Yasharallah that ain't came back to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They want to be bad bees, especially Eve. You can't tell her nothing. The party is over, like one of the brothers named one of their lessons today. The party is over here in Babylon the Great. All right, still in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 18. Neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. The news, only the elect is going to escape that. Right before Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai pull up on the scene, it's going to be so bad, man. The scripture says that, roughly paraphrasing, the Archangel Michael is going to stand up, book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. The Archangel Michael is going to stand up, for the people. It's going to be so bad, just when you think that it can't get no worse. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he gonna pull up on the scene. Came over here in spaceship, Salakia. Came over here on slave ships, leaving in spaceships. And we know that the elect, is built a certain kind of way. No matter what happens, the elect is gonna endure. Them nukes gonna show up, and them chariots gonna show up as well. But only the elect is gonna be able to escape that. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai Mashiach is going to take care of this place in 1 hour, man. That's why the scripture says here in Zephaniah 1 and verse 18, it says he going to make a speedy riddance of the, he going to say, it says, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all that dwell in the land. Only the elect is going to escape this, man. The heathens, the wicked, all these other nations, even Yasharallah, if you ain't part of that elect number, the 144,000 and 1/3, then you out of there. Like I said in the movie, you bound to Drizam. You're gonna drown in that fire. All right, we're living in some beautiful times. Not to make this long. All right, I'm gonna end it off on that note. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Keep on fighting the good fight of faith. Yahshua. Shalom.